All right, let's do this square footage lesson. We're going to go quick, and I'm going to show you how to fill out this assignment if you weren't here. This is going to be an introduction to square footage and how to find square footage, draw to scale, things like that. You're going to need to have a ruler on hand as well as a sharpened pencil. I'm grabbing my ruler now, and let's get started. So I'm just going to walk through and answer the questions and explain what they are. So this one little mark, whenever you see it written, that represents feet or a foot. Two little marks is inches. So how tall am I? I am 5 foot 3 inches. All right, so that's just something to memorize to know. How do you find the area of a shape? We know that from algebra. That's length times width. Length is here. Width, these multiplied together equals our area. Okay, so 5 by 5 square, that's going to be 25 is the area. What is the correct term for the area of a room, not just a shape? That would be square footage. Square footage. So in algebra, you talk about a shape and how big it is. We're just talking about the area. But when we're talking about a room, the area of a room is called square footage. Or sometimes you say, like, what's the square, or how many square feet are there? Or what is the square footage of a room? So units for square footage, it's going to be SQFT, square feet. So if you were going to say, well, for number 7, what's the square footage of a room? That's 10 by 5, 10 feet by 5 feet. We know that 10 times 5 is 50, and the units are square feet. This is the area of a room, so 50 square feet. How many feet long is a yard? Imagine this right here is a yardstick. It's 1, 2, 3 feet. So 3 feet. So if you had a yardstick, it would be 3 feet long. We're talking linear, so that means like in a line. So how many square feet are in a room that's 3 by 3? So that's asking if this is a room over here and it's 3 feet by 3 feet. How many square feet are in that? Well, 3 times 3 is 9. So 9 square feet. How many square feet are in 1 square yard? So it's asking if this is 1 yard by 1 yard, how many square feet are in this? Well, we know that this is also the same thing as saying 3 by 3, which is this question. So imagine that 1 yard by 1 yard looks like this. If you were to count these up, you would get 9, which is the same way as asking, what's a room that's 3 feet by 3 feet? You can also just say what's a room that's 1 yard by 1 yard. Same thing. So if we know that there are 9 square feet in 1 square yard, to determine how many square yards there are within a room, you simply divide the room's square footage by 9. So it's like you work backwards. So let's say you have a room that's 45 square feet. A room that has 45 square feet it's got 5 square yards because 45 divided by 9 equals 5. So all you do is you take the square footage, so 45, you divide it by 9, that equals 5. So there would be 5 square yards in a room that was 45 square feet. All right, moving on. What's the square footage of a room that's 10 by 8? 10 times 8, 80. We got to include units, square feet. When we draw floor plans, we use the scale 1/4 of an inch equals 1 foot. The mark's over here, but I'm going to add it in there so you don't get confused. So that means that if you have a ruler, I've marked on here where 1/8 is for a different reason, but the space between, well, let's actually, I'm just going to kind of slide this over. We're going to just look from 8 to 9 right here. This is 1 inch, okay? Like it's 1 inch long. So halfway between would be half. Half of a half is a fourth. So this distance right here is usually how big graph paper is. So the graph paper that we use in class, if you were to measure one of these boxes, it adds up, or it lines up to be exactly 1/4 of an inch. So we say that 1/4 of an inch, this space right here on paper, represents 1 whole foot, like this whole ruler in real life. So when we draw to scale, we're shrinking everything down to the same degree. So 1/4 of an inch on paper is representing 1 foot in real life. So we're going to pretend like this grid, this graph over here, is perfectly 1/4 of an inch. It probably is a little off, but we're going to just assume and act like it is. So it's asking us to draw, number 15, says draw the room from question 13 in the graph below. We're pretending that each box is 1/4 of an inch wide, because remember, 1 box equals 1 foot. So question 13 says a room that's 10 by 8. So that means, using our ruler, because we want to always draw really straight lines, you're going to count out 10 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10 feet on one side. You always include your measurements off to the side when you draw a wall. Then we're going to do our width, which is 8 feet. I always put my ruler slightly under the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, then I do 8. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looking good, but this isn't a room yet, so we got to finish it out over here. Got to add the rest of our walls. Okay. All right, so now we have a room drawn to scale that's 8 by 10. Get in the habit of always writing the square footage off to the side. All right, so 8 by 10, 80 square feet. All right, the next question asks, how many yards are in the room from question 15? Show your work and use a calculator. So we've got 80 square feet, so we're going to write out 80 square feet divided by 9. We divide by 9 because we're converting square feet to square yards. And we know from our statement up here, number 12, like we know from 11 and 12, that there are 9 square feet in 1 square yard. So we just have to divide square footage by 9, and we're going to get square yardage. I've got my calculator right here. All right, so we're going to do 80 divided by 9. For right now, go ahead and just write 8.88, and we got to include units, square yards. We'll talk about how to round later. All right, let's flip this over. So now, question 17 is a little different. It says, what is the square footage of the following room? Show your work. You can do this problem 3 ways. Interested to see how your brain does it. Pause the video, try to do this on your own without my guidance for a quick moment. But now I'm going to go ahead and show you the 3 different ways to do this. So first, you can separate the rooms or this shape into 2 rectangles and then find the area of rectangle A and add it to rectangle B and get the square footage. You could do a line this way, and instead you could find the area of the top rectangle here and add it to the bottom rectangle and get your square footage. Or your brain might be super cool and you thought to actually make this into a complete square. You take the whole area and then you subtract this little guy here. So let me show you those different options, how they might actually play out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 by 11. So 55 would be the top rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, yikes, my brain is going really slow today. 8 times 6 is 48. 48 plus 55 is 103 square feet. We could also do, I'm just going to write directly on top of this, so sorry if this gets confusing. We could go this way, and we could do 3 by 5, which is going to be 15. This whole area is going to be, what is that? Is that 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 by 8, that's 88. So 88 plus 15 is 103. I'll add our earlier numbers, so hopefully you can keep track of all this. And then the other option is to do 11 times 11. So the last one where we said we're going to treat it like a complete square. So 11 times 11 is 121. So 121 minus this section, which would be 18, 6 times 3. That also equals 103. So the 3 ways to do it are right here. And these are all square feet, so don't forget the units. I put them up here. Okay? Number 18, how many square yards are in a room from question 17? What do we have to do to this number when we're converting square feet to square yards? We divide by 9. So we're going to take 103 divided by 9. I'm going to pull up my handy dandy calculator. 103 divided by 9. So you get 11.44. And remember, it's square yards. You've got to include your units on all of these. All right, we're going to kind of take this a step further really quick. So we're going to do this in a practical way. Think about this in real life. The question is, what will it cost to carpet a room if the room is 10 feet wide by 12 feet long? So we know it's going to be 10 times 12. Let's keep going. The carpet costs $12.51 a square foot. I should have a dollar sign. Or excuse me, $12.51 per square yard. So there are 3 steps. We first have to find the square footage. We then have to find the square yardage. And then we multiply square yardage by the cost, because that's what the units of the money, the cost is. So we start with finding the square footage. 10 times 12 equals 120 square feet. We're then going to divide 120 by 9 to get the square yardage. Here's where we're going to talk about rounding real quick. So 120 divided by 9, that equals 13.3. 3. The thing is if you are buying this for a room, you can't just buy 13.3 yards of fabric or carpet or whatever. You always round up to the whole number. Even if, even though this is 0.3, and in math you would think that you would round down, if we only ordered 13 square yards of carpet, we wouldn't have enough for our room. So we're going to actually change this to be 14 square yards. That's how much carpet we need to buy for this room. We know that the carpet costs $12.51 per square yard. We've now got our square yards. So we're going to multiply 12.51 times 14. So we're going to, again, have our calculator out. We're going to do 12.51 times 14. So our final answer in dollars to answer how much would it cost to carpet this room would be $175 and 14 cents. Okay, last question. It says draw a bedroom on the following graph with the listed specifications. Use a ruler. The room is 12 feet by 12 feet. It's going to have a 5 by 7 bed, two 2 by 2 nightstands, a 2 by 5 dresser, and a door that's 2.5 feet. So let me go ahead and show you how we do this. First, let me make sure I've got enough room on my little graph here. There we go. To fit this room. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so I'm going to kind of start one block away. So I'm going to get my ruler, line it up against a line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we're going to go this way. Hold that ruler nice and steady. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Come down this direction as well. Because this is a room, we got to draw all 4 sides. Sorry, I'm covering this up. I'm going to go kind of fast on that one. And then we're just connecting these two, so you don't have to do any counting. Just bring it over. Okay? Always write those dimensions out to the side. And we talked about always writing your square footage out to the side. So 12 times 12 is 144. So we're just going to write 144 square feet over here. All right, so the bed is 5 by 7. I'm going to actually work back, or start with the door first, so I know how someone would walk in a room. So over here, I'm going to draw 1, 2.5 boxes, like this line here. And then go 1, 2.5. And that's our 2 foot by 6 inch door. So that's going to be our door. This is how you would enter into the bedroom. So I think I want the bed to be on this wall right here. So I'm going to try to center it as best I can. It's 5 foot wide. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm trying to kind of picture how many will be on each side. It'll be a little off center, but we're going to roll with it. Well, actually, I'm going to, no, it'll just be off center. So with the ruler, I'm going to start here, and I'm actually going to go with the line this direction first. So it's 7 feet long. This is kind of like a queen bed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to go across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to go up. Remember, we're drawing to scale. So this is exactly how much space these pieces of furniture would truly take up in a room that's 12 by 12. And 12 by 12 is a pretty standard bedroom size. And these are actual standard measurements for beds and such. I'm going to kind of just draw in a little thing like this to designate it's like a bed. And like those are the sheets. Just, so it's not just a rectangle. You don't have to do that. Okay, next, our 2 by 2 nightstand. All right, so why don't we cross off bed, cross off door. Now we're going to do our nightstand. So 2 by 2, we can just add in these other lines. And I'm going to just use the bed line and the wall line to represent the other sides of the nightstands. You usually don't want any room, or not much room, next to your bed, or like between the bed and the nightstand. Imagine you're going to sleep and you want to reach over for a cup of water. You don't want to have to reach far at all. So you might leave a little bit more room than this in real life. But for now, I'm just going to do 2 by 2 right up next to it. And I'm shading it just so you can see it kind of pop out and stand out compared to the bed. That way you kind of remember where it is. All right, last thing is a 2 by 5 dresser. So I'm going to draw that down here. That way when you walk in, you could like throw your keys or something right here on the dresser. But you'll still have room to walk between the dresser and the bed, or get to this side of the bed or whatnot. So I'm going to try to get this exactly lined up with the bed so there's some symmetry here. So I know that it's going to be 2 feet away from the wall, the edge of it, because that's here. Also, I'm going to cross this off because I know I'm done with it. Okay, 2 by 5. So if I know I'm going to go from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to here, I'm going to go ahead and draw this line right there. Now I'm going to draw these lines going this way based on my marks. All right. And just for fun, I'm going to add in 2 little dots to show where the knobs might be. And maybe just a little bit of light shading just to show a little difference. So now, if we were to draw traffic flow, you don't have to, but this would kind of be how the traffic flow would work. You always want to keep at least 2 feet between a dresser and another piece of furniture because these drawers have to come out. So you want to anticipate that. Same usually, a lot of times these side tables have drawers too, so you never want to put anything right here unless it's like a rug to, get out of the bed. But anyway, this is how you would draw the room for question number 20. You can draw it just like mine or come up with your own design as long as it has these exact pieces of furniture. To fully correctly do this, we would go ahead and number and create a key for our furniture. I'm assuming that these side tables are the exact same, so they get the same number, these nightstands. And then you don't ever number architectural features like windows, walls, and doors. So you don't have to number the door. Dresser, LOL, that's got 2 S's. There we go. All right, this is how you complete the entire handout for the square footage lesson. Come by me if you got more questions.